Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the recording. Hopefully, I can get this recording out to everyone um, who wasn't able to make the call tonight. I want to get ourselves started so we don't waste any time. Now, let me start our screen share here and we will get you moving. And here we go. There we go. Okay, so welcome everyone to 6 weeks to success, week 3. This is our halfway mark. Excuse my phone. And we are going to go ahead and get ourselves started this week. Congratulations so far. We have made it, and hopefully your business is looking up. So here's what I'd like to talk about, what we've learned so far in our calls. We've learned that we have got to increase our product knowledge in order to maximize our sales and our bookings. Extremely important. We've learned that your belief decides what you believe you can do and what you believe you cannot do, and that your brain can be retrained. So we want to make sure we retrain our brains, that we believe in ourselves, in our company, and in our products. We've also learned how to talk to people out and about. That was last week's call. And how to book some parties at our shows and the words that we can use to book those parties as well. And we've also learned about the passion that we have that shines through and can completely influence the purchases and bookings at our parties. So those are the types of things we've been talking about the past couple weeks. And today we're going to do one of my favorites. We're going to discuss host coaching, which is extremely important. Host coaching is where you earn your paycheck. That's where you earn your paycheck, and you pick up your paycheck at your show. So it's really important to have wonderful host coaching so that you can earn that paycheck and then just pick it up at the show. So we want to teach you guys how to work smarter, not harder. So I bet you're wondering, well, so how do I coach my host effectively? And that's what we're going to talk about this evening. So we need to start at the party. That's the best place to start host coaching your host. Don't worry at the party if there's a line. Don't worry about the time of your party. Coach the people when they book their show at your host party. You want to carry host packets with you all the times. Here's my suggestion. Make sure you have 3 catalogs in the package. Tell the host that 2 are for getting outside orders before the show, and 1 is for her to use to mark up, to use her black marker, or what do we call them? Those not a dry erase marker, like the Sharpies. That's what we call them. Gosh, Sharpies. So have them tell them to use a Sharpie, circle everything that they want from the catalog. That is theirs to keep. Okay. Ask them how many people they want at their party. Like I said, this is what you should be doing when they book that show at the party that you were just at. So we're talking about a party that you've just been to, you're doing, and somebody comes up and says they want to book a party. So ask them that night how many people they would like to have at their party. Have them pick a number. Seriously, have them pick a number to see what they have to say. Now, your job, if they only say 3 or 4, is to guide them to getting 12 to 15 people at the party. That means they're going to want 12 to 15 yeses, okay? So encourage them that we're going to need 15 orders for the show at a minimum. And then if you guys do the math, if you have 15 orders for your show and it's an average order of $60, that's actually a $900 show, which is very exciting. I'm sure you would love having a $900 show. If they have trouble thinking about having 12 people there, just talk about the 5-15-5 system that we have. And in case you don't know what that means, 5-15-5 gets them at least $1,000 show. That's 5 orders before their show, 15 people at the show, and 5 orders after the show. That will get them $1,000 plus party. Help them think big. Okay, so that's where your conversation with your host should start right at the party that they booked from. So the biggest complaint we hear from hosts is that they don't know what they need to do to have a successful party, and that's kind of our job. So here's what I want to ask you. Take a look at this slide. Tell me, which show would you rather do? A $300 show or a $1,000 show? Now, developing a good host coaching system is the difference between a $1,000 show and a $300 show. It's the difference between a mediocre show and a fantastic show. Your hosts have to have a clear and concise path to follow the entire party. And if they don't, then that's where you're going to get the $300 party. Okay. If they have a clear path, the goal is $1,000 party. We call this working smarter, not harder. Okay. You're going out anyway to have this show. You're spending the same amount of time at this party. Would you rather have a $300 party or would you rather have a $1,000 party? At a $300 party, your commission is $60. At a $1,000 party, your commission is $220. That is a huge difference. So I think all of us can agree, and I know you can't answer the question, but I think we can all agree that we would all like to have the $1,000 party to get a much bigger commission. So here's what you have to do for your host coaching. You need to connect with your hosts weekly. You can connect with them different ways. You connect with them through email. You can connect with them through text. You can connect with them through a post message on Facebook. But the best way to is to schedule at least one call to plan the party. And that should be your first contact. That should be your first call when you talk to your host. So you want to walk them through the host program when you call them and talk to them step by step. It's really hard to do that in a text or a Facebook message or an email. So the best way is to call. So walk them through step by step, show them what they get for a $1,000 party, and ask them if they could spend $215 in free products from the catalog, what would they like to get? Okay. Guide them on how to invite their guests. Again, lots of different ways to invite guests. They need to keep track of their yeses and nos. They can invite personally. They can invite through Facebook. They can invite through a text message. I have found the best way to invite is through mail invitations. And if you have hosted with me before in the past, you know that I'm very adamant about that. People do like to get fun mail in the mail instead of just getting bills all the time. So it's I think a must to get at least 40 plus names from the host so that you can mail out those invitations for them. I personally do it for my host. Again, I'd rather be a little bit more in charge of things and in control. If I would just hand the invitations to the host and say, please send these out, I'm not in control of who's getting the invitation and how many she's actually giving. So their job is to get the folks to the party. And if it's a live event, all we ask them to do is simply provide some of the ingredients for the party. There's a great host coaching tracker on pamperedchef.com. It's from PC University. So you can type up in the screen host party tracking form or host confirmation information. There's some great information in there for you. You know more about a cooking show than she does. So, remind her that, it's your experience and your job to help this be the most successful party for her. And you have found that these simple ways will help her to have the most successful party that you can. Make sure you build excitement for the party. Plan how you guys are going to be in contact the next couple of times. So we suggest contacting your host at least 3 times, once on the phone, the others can be through Facebook or text messaging. I also like to set up Facebook events for my host about a week to 10 days before the party and schedule, 1 or 2 posts a day with some products and some information. If you're familiar with Red Stamp, some people like to use a Red Stamp invite. You can Google Red Stamp. It's really quick. It's really easy. You can text your host the show link that then she can send and text to her friends so that her friends can just click on the show link and place an order right there if they can't make it to the party. You also want to be in contact and make sure your host knows what the guest special is for the month and also the host special. So she should be letting her guests know that aren't attending the show what the guest special is, because lots of people will increase their sales to get something for free. So the second time you do contact them, probably maybe 3 or 4 days before the show, maybe a week at the latest, is to check on attendance, revisit the the opportunity to be a consultant with a Pampered Chef. You always want to talk about that in your phone calls as well, and ask who she thinks might want to be the next host of a party. Let our host do some of the work for us. Our host might know who might enjoy having a party. So let them contact their friends and get the bookings for you even before the party starts. At that second call, you might want to plan the menu at the same time if you haven't done that yet. And then your third contact with the host should be, just 2 or 3 days before. Sometimes it's the day before. You want to confirm how many people are coming and get directions. If attendance still seems pretty low and it's less than 10, you might want to offer some suggestions on how she can get more people there. They can invite up to the last minute. She can contact everybody who's coming and, ask them to bring a friend. Tell them they'll get a gift, that you can give a gift to somebody who brings a friend. Offer to bring a dessert to the host if she gets, 12 or more people there. It's something that I do quite a bit to encourage more people in attending. After the party, you want to encourage her to get outside orders, talk to those people who couldn't attend. And, we always know there's last minute people the day of the party that have something come up that they have to cancel last minute. So I always make sure I talk to my host about getting in touch with those people for sure, to see if they want anything since they were planning on coming. Okay. So we want to create the excitement, and you got to connect with your host. Keep that moving. Okay. The next thing I want you guys to think about is setting up a host coaching system, and this will make your life so much easier. Get a 3-ring binder, or if you're an electronic junkie and you know how to have files on your computer, maybe you can keep an electronic file folder on your computer with all the information. There is information on PC University. You can print off what's called Table Talk, and they're discussions and host coaching checklists that help you keep your systems really simple, but they're very effective as well. So you don't forget anything with your host. So set up a host coaching system that you can use with your host to make life a lot easier for you. So I want you to remember that host coaching is a partnership. She's going to get a ton in free. She's going to get a ton in half price. She's going to get discounted items. And you're going to get a great paycheck, okay? So is that what I just mentioned worth that $220 paycheck for one night? And I think we can all say, yeah, that's a pretty good payment for the amount of time that we put into it. So it does require a little bit of work before the show. Remember, that's how you earn your paycheck. Before the show is how you earn the paycheck, and you just pick it up at the party. So do the hard work at the beginning in the front so you can earn that big paycheck, okay? So this week's focus is skill. We've been talking about the 4 pillars of success. We talked about the belief and the passion. And today we're going to talk about the skill. And the skill pillar is, I think, one of the easiest ones in your business because it's the one that everyone can fix anytime you need to fix it. And you can simply do this by doing a couple easy things. Use your tools at home. Skill. We want you to be comfortable and have product knowledge and information and great skill with your tools. So use them at home when you're cooking. Develop personal stories about the items that you're using, what you used it for. People like hearing personal stories. Study the catalog. Carry it with you wherever you go. If you're sitting in the car for 5 minutes waiting for somebody, pull out the catalog and get some product knowledge on some of our top sellers, the Rock Rocks, the stoneware, the forged cutlery knives. These are our high-end products that you just want to have a lot of information on. Listen to home office trainings. There's lots of them. You can watch them or you can listen to them, but there are some great home office trainings for you. Come to your team meetings. That's a great way to get your skill and get the knowledge. We have We're going to start having hopefully some new consultant trainings that you can come to, and some recipe nights that you can come to where you just learn about recipes. A biggie that I would suggest is get yourself to conference. Our conference is in August of this year. I just made my air flight reservation today. Super excited to book my airlines. And I would love to talk to any of you about attending conference. It's not too late to get yourself started. I went my very first year that I was a Pampered Chef consultant, and I tell you what, it's why I'm still a consultant today, because National Conference it's just phenomenal. It's amazing. The networking, the things that you learn, the excitement, you're there with 4,000 consultants, and it just is such a big rush, and it's a great business booster for you. So I would suggest, if you can invest in your business, to really think about joining us at National Conference in Chicago in August. And you can PM me or text me for a little bit more information. We share rooms. We make things as inexpensive as possible. And those of you that just started within the last year, your cost to attend conference is just $99, which is wow. And all the training that you're going to get, some food in that as well, $99 to make your business just soar is just well worth it. The return on your investment is going to be so well worth it. So I'm sorry I just did a big clip for conference, but I will never miss another one, and I haven't since I started. And I think, again, that's the reason why I have such a successful business and why I keep doing what I'm doing. I just absolutely love it. So please talk to me about that. I do another way to help yourself get the skill is to ask for help. I am not a mind reader. I'll be the first to tell you that. You all know that I do have a full-time job, and I have what I feel to be a full-time business with the Pampered Chef as well. Even though I can't work it full-time, I feel like what I'm doing is a full-time business with them. So I don't know when you need some help. I need you to help me with that. I'm not a mind reader. If there's something that I can do to help you out, please reach out to me. And that's the best thing that I can do for you. I also suggest, we mentioned accountability partners a couple weeks ago. And that just means somebody who is maybe in the same, maybe somebody who's just started the business within the past couple of months, and you have as well, and you want to kind of be accountability partners to each other, which means you make phone calls once a week or once every other week, and you're a support system for them, and you kind of hold each other accountable. If you say you're going to book 3 shows, and you kind of say, okay, well, how'd you do with those 3 shows that you wanted to book? How many did you get? Let's talk about some ways that we can help you think about brainstorming to get some more shows on your calendar. So an accountability partner can be phenomenal. And like Vanessa said last week, we've been accountability for about a year, and we love each other to death, and we kick each other to get ourselves moving with our business. And I wouldn't be where I am without her either. So Vanessa, I love you, and I thank you for that. Some other things you can do to get the skill is to read books. If you like to read books and you're a book reader, you can listen to them online on tape if you want to, but there's some great direct selling books out there for you, some phenomenal leadership books out there for you, just great. YouTube, go on to YouTube and look up Pampered Chef Tools, or look up a Pampered Chef Rock. You'll see so many trainings and videos down there. And then the biggest thing that I can suggest you to increase your skill with the Pampered Chef is to increase your shows, or just do shows. The more you do shows, the better you're going to get with the products and with your skill level. So skills, I want you to know, can be easily taught and easily caught. You can do it. You can catch the skill, and you can make this business soar. It's all up to you. Okay. So I know this is a quick call. We don't have much interaction, but I do want to touch base with you about your homework for this week. There is going to be another listening coaching call that we want you to go to. It's Host Coaching with Lisa Noto and Michael Yoakley. It's on Pampered Chef University. You go to the Host Coaching area. Peer sharing, again, which is what we've been doing for the past couple weeks. So just go to the Host Coaching, peer sharing, and then look at the Host Coaching with Lisa Noto and Michael Yoakley. And then, of course, we want you to share your 5 takeaways with us. What did you think that was really great? And you know what I've been talking to you guys about this week and last week, these takeaways are great, great pieces of information, but they don't do anything unless we act on them. Okay, so if something that you learned on the booking was how to do something different at your show, well, then make sure you act on that at your next show. Don't just leave it on a note card. Don't just leave it on a piece of paper. act on those. And like Vanessa suggested last week, we don't want you to just try it once and say, oh, that didn't work, I'm not going to do that again. We need to become a little bit more proficient in that and try it a couple times before we say, nope, that I didn't like that, that won't work for me. We don't want you to try everything all at once. Like Vanessa said last week, try one or two things at a show for a couple times, and then bring in one or two more things at your shows and see what works best for you. Okay. This system is pretty involved that you're going to listen to, but I want you to stick it out. I want you to see how Lisa, who is phenomenal, deals with objections. We all have objections when people want to host shows. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my dog who's acting a little crazy. Sam, get away from there. So please listen with intent there and jot down some great notes, and hopefully you can learn something from those as well. I think you guys have enjoyed the calls that we've had you listen to lately, and that's the best way that we can learn. Okay. And then we are going to have you make our weekly calls, and I know it's been we've been struggling with that, gang, and I would like you really to work hard on making the calls with me, with your director, because they are going to make the difference in your 6 weeks to success. Not just listening to these, but actually talking to your director to work out some things with you as well. So we're going to ask you how many shows you're going to commit to booking this week. Again, it's a weekly thing. It's going to be a weekly assignment. How many do you want to book this week? We want you to be comfortable with your number. How many host coaching calls are you going to commit to making this week? How many shows do you have coming up? So what are the calls that you need to make? And then, of course, we're going to discuss the past shows that you've had in the past week. How many leads did you get? And leads are, people who might be interested in doing what you do. That's what a lead is. A lead is also somebody who might be interested in booking a show. Those are leads. It's different from how many bookings did you get. A booking is actually a date on the calendar. So a lead booking would be somebody who didn't book a show yet. The bookings would be somebody who actually booked a date on your calendar. So there's a difference there. And we highly suggest getting those bookings at the show, which we talked about last week. So your task would be to try your hardest, if you can, to get the bookings at the show. That will make your life so much easier. So what were your sales? And I know sometimes when I talk to my new consultants, they're really excited. And the first thing they want to tell me is the sales of their show. And I know you're excited about those sales of your show because it is exciting when you see the $600 or $700 show. You think, wow, that was a great show. I got, $700 in sales. My commission is going to be at least $140, $150. That is awesome. We want to celebrate that with you. But the biggest thing we want to be excited with you about is your bookings, because if you didn't get any bookings, then your business is not going to be able to continue. So that $700 show is phenomenal, and we celebrate those successes with you. But I think our first thing to take a look at is how many bookings did you get from the show? And that's where we can see our business moving forward, so we can continue working this phenomenal business. We want to know what you're having trouble with. You guys have got to be honest with us. If there's something that you struggle with this week, please let us know. And then we also want to hear what you're excited about. Give me a brag. What did you do well? What's going on in your life that in the Pampered Chef business that you're really excited about? Because we like to hear those and celebrate those with you as well. So I'm sorry that I don't have anybody live tonight, and I'm going to try my hardest, hopefully, to record this and get this to you. I had trouble last week, and we'll see if this can make a difference this week. But thank you all for listening in, and hope to be able to chat with you soon. Thanks for attending. Take care. Bye-bye.